You all are lucky sitting in this young age because you are born in 21st century. We come from 70s era, so we had a lot of difficulties. We have a lot of restrictions. We have a lot of scarcity about resources which you really do not have. And one of the best thing what you are enjoying today is data, because everything is in your fingertips, be it torrent or be it Google or be it whatever you want to study. When I am referring to 21st century, I feel myself lucky to be part of two biggest revolution happened in this country. Talking about the first revolution about telecom, which began in 2002. You know what, in earlier days, and you can ask with your parents that earlier you need to wait for 8 years, 10 years to get telephone connection at your home. I'm not joking. It's a reality. You have to wait for more than a decade to get gas pipeline at your home, and if at all you are lucky, you may get, or you may have to wait for many more years. That has changed and made life easy. You can get a mobile. How you are getting mobile today? You just walk in the Airtel shop, put your biometrics, get mobile connection in just 2 minutes. You have never ever seen the line to stand in queue to get any such connection. From there, one new slogan came in 2002 when I was the chief of the entire rollout of Reliance Communication. You might have heard about Reliance Communication. In 2002, Dhirubhai Ambani came out with the slogan, "Kar lo duniya muthi mein." Many of you have heard about this, right? And the intent was very, very right. Kar lo duniya muthi mein. And isn't it reality today? Everything is in your fingertips. You want to book for cinema? Book my show. You want to go for a tour? Make my trip. You want to search about any law or any judgment passed in 40, 50 years ago? Just click on the website and you get everything. Right? So that's the reality today, that yes, everything is in your fingertips. But now, the flip side of this, Kallo duniya muthi mein nahi, aap unki muthi mein. I will tell you how. The second revolution happened. I'll park this point for a moment and I'll go to the next revolution. The next revolution happened about digital age, digital transformation. When it was telling about the Google Map, and of course it was a time where we never had a clue that which road to take, which road will have a traffic congestion, and technology has gone to the stage where India is still immune because of the population. But if in America or in Europe, if GPS goes down for 2 hours, I can guarantee that 98% of Americans won't find their own home while they are coming back from office, or they want to go to office, they will not find their home because they are so much dependent. They are literally so much dependent. Here in India, you can go at a bit polytechnic चौराहा जा रहा है, भैया सीधा जाओ, वहाँ से लेफ्ट लेना, आगे जाकर राइट लेना, वो मिल जाएगा. We have that liberty, but that is not the case for the rest of the world. Now, when we are talking about the digital age transformation, before a few months, I left my previous organization called NPCI, National Payment Corporation of India, which has transformed the banking experience altogether. Earlier, as mobile, banking was not available to everybody. You have to stand in queue, even if you want to deposit money, you want to withdraw money, you want to pay bill, you want to do anything, right? You have to stand in a queue and you have to spend at least take half day or 1 day leave and do your banking work. Today, you can do everything just on a fingertips. UPI, how many of you are using UPI? How safe it is? Okay, you have to say thanks to me because I'm the chief security architect of UPI for all UPI applications which you are using. But when you are using digital, the digital age, you are putting your fingerprints, you are putting a footstep, you are putting a footprints on every activity you are doing. Now, in that case, when I want to track somebody, be it financial crime, be it any other crime, how the technology is helping in positively. I'll take a very small example. In our Maharashtra, that is a district called Amravati, one lady was murdered at 12 o'clock night, and morning somebody found that she was murdered, and they tried to figure out that what went wrong and has anything stolen. her idea that ATM card was stolen. We tracked that murderer, the criminal, using that just ATM card. Can you imagine how? Because we have traces and all this. But till the time it is used in right manner, technology can help you. But the moment you are going into enormous data generation, because India has population of 1.3 billion people, right? Out of which we have 1 billion mobile connection, 1 billion telephone connection. Out of which again 450 million are smartphones. Thanks to Jio, data is a commodity here. Data, you are not paying data. You ask your father, we used to pay, the 300 rupees for 10 Mbps, 10 MB data a decade ago. You are not bothered about, how much you are paying for your data. But imagine the 400 million smart mobile generating terabyte of data every day, night in this country. Now I'll come how the data is being used and why data sovereignty for a country like us is very, very important. You think that the foreign investment coming in our country, they are just blindfold people, they just come in, oh, Bhopal is a nice place, let me go and invest this money. No, they are not. They are not. They know that what is the habit of people in Bhopal of eating, apparels, movie and everything. How they are getting this data? From where they are knowing that yes, Bhopal is a hub for people like food too much and they don't spend money in apparels because there is an artificial intelligence, machine learning, churning the data. Because, okay, you all have heard about AI and ML. What is the food for them? Data, data and data. How much data you are pushing to them, that can be used for bettering the whole model and predicting well that yes, this is the right place to invest for pharmaceutical and not for the textile. From where they are using. I'll tell you another example. Well, Vineet and Madam also refer about how data is used for sovereignty of the country. Cambridge Analytica, how many of you have heard? Cambridge Analytica was the mastermind behind the last election happened in US. Now, they can change the complete mindset of people. Thanks God they have not come in India because there is another reason why. Because we are digitally illiterate people. Believe me, we are digitally illiterate people and therefore we believe to share as much of data what you can. I am a Gujarati and Gujarati community is too much of talkative. The moment you sit next to me, maybe after 2 hours journey, you may come to know a lot of things about me, khakra, thepla, dokla and everything. Apart from that, where I was studying, what I work, where what I used to do in my past, future, everything. What the hell I need to tell? Vineet is good friend, we are co-author of the book, but why I need to tell something about my personal life to Vineet Bhai and why I need to know about his life? But no, we believe that it's a humanity, we are bringing people together. That was good till now, not now. Because when you are sharing data, when you are exchanging data, you don't know where the data is going to be used. The girls, my sisters are sitting in this audience. I'll tell you one thing. I went with my wife and to drop her at the beauty parlor and she was waiting for her turn to come. And I was just standing at the reception and I saw one book, visitor book. All ladies have given the number, what kind of facial they would like, what they want next time. They have given their contact number, the address, their email ID. Can you believe that how this kind of data can be misused? One example Madam gave about the mock photograph of one girl who was forced to commit a suicide. You are giving a plate to people. How do you misuse your data? Right? And when it comes to a small crime, it's okay. But when it's the biggest crime, cyber crime, I should not say that I was lucky, but I was part of every cyber crime, big cyber crime happened in this country for last 10 years. And I have invested, sorry, that's the wrong word. But I was part of the investigation of all cyber crime happened, biggest cyber crime in this country. And what went wrong? Just two things. People were ignorant, very ignorant, or knowingly they have given something which has harmed back to them. And one of the biggest fraud happened in the country, about 100 crore rupees vanished from one bank 2 years ago, from Pune, Cosmos Bank. The simple thing that guy did, he clicked one email. The person who sent the email, he was not knowing who the guy is. But out of curiosity, He just opened and click on that link. After 2 years, the malware acted and the entire money went out just in 2 hours. Why? We know, and in every cyber attack happened, we know that what went wrong, how this has happened. But the worst part is, we really don't know who did that, because the cyber crime, the data is flowing across the border, across country, where we really don't have any control on that. Now, if we need to talk about the law and especially why we are getting a little backseat on the acting on this kind of crime. One, the cybercrime, as I said, is a completely borderless crime. And when you are selling data, you really don't know where the data is going. I can guarantee that if I take selfie with you guys, none of I know you guys, and you put on Instagram or Facebook, it will suggest you. You want to take Bharat Panchal. How the Facebook came to know that I am Bharat Panchal and sitting with you guys in Bhopal? How? Where the data has gone. And the worst part is, do you know that where your photograph is stored? Which country? Which server? You have no idea. Because we really don't know where the data is going. Now where the data is going, where we don't know, how do we know that who all are having access to that? Who are touching to the data? What kind of analysis they are doing? Where they are selling? How many of you paid a single rupee for Yahoo or Gmail? Have you paid? I am having Gmail account for 20 years. I have not paid a single paisa. And you know the infrastructure which is required to manage this kind of big site? You can't imagine even. It may be equivalent to the state budget of this state, what Google and Yahoo may be spending. Why they are spending this much? From where they are getting that money? They are getting money from selling your own data. You just go to Make My Trip, search for flight from Mumbai, Bhopal to Mumbai. Now you go to Facebook, it will suggest best hotel to stay in Mumbai. How these are two different things. How they got to know that you are flying to Mumbai? Who is doing all this? You have no clue. And therefore, the data sovereignty is required where it is small thing or big thing, and especially for the country like us, where our sovereignty is sabse upar. We cannot give up that. Till the time it is road and transport is okay. Look at about the military warfare, military establishment, the nuclear power station. It has, somebody is watching them. And if that data is misused, our sovereignty comes to a danger. And therefore, the data sovereignty is important. It is just not one word. Mr. Mukesh Ambani said that data is new oil. Of course, it is new oil. Leave apart the commercial advantage of data. Look at the sovereignty or the security of the nation. It is all lying on the data, because as long as the data remains in this country, you have a super access to that. And therefore, the Reserve Bank has done very good job very recently that none of the financial transactions should go out of this country. It has to reside in this country. It has to be available as and when they want. They can take for processing, but after doing processing, the data must come back in this country. No financial transaction is now being stored out of this country. Something similar has to be extended. Last, I would like to cover one important point from judiciary perspective, because I do not have right today that you can't take my photograph. Once you take my photograph with you, you can't upload on Facebook, you can't put it on Instagram, and I do not have right to recall it that no, you don't put it. There is no law to protect individual. There is no law to protect the establishment. There is no law to protect the data as a whole. I think this is a time where we all need to stand up. We need to raise our voice, because day by day we are from terabyte to zettabyte and all. We are going to raise data. And please take it from me. It is no point where you can detach from the technology. We are so dependent. As I gave an example of the US GPS, something similar. We are also getting addicted to the technology. There is no point you can go back. Can you afford to leave your mobile at your home? You can't. Can you afford to switch off your data for a while? Because you have no interest. Nobody's giving you a WhatsApp call. Nobody's giving you a call. They all are sending a WhatsApp, and therefore you need WhatsApp always enabled. It was a time, I think before you were born, there was a movie called Maine Pyar Kiya, right? And very popular song, Kabutar Ja Ja Ja. Kabutar was used, pigeon was used for passing the message in military and all this thing. Till that it was secure, because you know this pigeon will go from this location to that location, message deliver, come back. There is no more pigeon. What's the your pigeon? And you really don't have any idea who is watching that pigeon, who is putting man in the middle, who is taking your data and who is using that data. Therefore, the most important need of our is from the judiciary side, that we need to educate people how data is important, and if something goes wrong, how we can track the data and how we can stop the misuse of the data. Because like the basic necessity given by the constitution of this country, roti, kapda and makan, there will be a fourth element, which will be a cyber security, because that is important in your life. Cyber security, when I'm talking about cyber security, it includes your data sovereignty as well, and that's important need of our, and that is what is going to protect us in tomorrow.